seen a video like this?
What if the Antarctic Research Station got mad and attacked the whole world? First, the...
Yeah, me too. And I don't like them. To be frankly honest, I absolutely hate them. But I'm going to be reacting to them anyways. And I'm going to be giving my criticism, so sit back and relax as I watch, painfully, these horrible videos.
The scientists in Antarctica will create a powerful chemical to form a massive penguin army.
Powerful chemical. Massive penguin army. Okay, I get that there's like very few people in Antarctica and they have to find some way to make it work. To be honest, robots would have worked better. What's this magic chemical? Also, would it even be a chemical, or would it be some kind of like neuron thing? Whatever. I don't understand. It's brain.
They would then start by attacking Argentina. Within hours, Argentina's defense...
Within hours? Within hours? First off, I don't think a penguin could travel the length of Argentina within hours. Even if they had military equipment, it'd still take them a while, because, you know, Argentina isn't exactly known for being flat. Also, how do penguins even make good soldiers? Like, they don't have thumbs! They don't have thumbs! Humans have thumbs, that's what makes us good fighters. Penguins don't have thumbs! Oh my gosh, this is already hurting. Also, Russia with an actual semi-powerful military has been stalled for 2 years taking over Ukraine. But a bunch of penguins that are just being mind-controlled take over Argentina in a few hours. I don't buy it whatsoever. Dear Lord. Let's just continue.
Defenses fell. Next, Chile tries to step up, but is quickly overwhelmed. The penguins are everywhere.
Yes, the penguins are able to cross the Andes Mountains with ease. Do you understand why I hate this content yet?
Causing chaos. Brazil, confident in...
Chaos, my god. I don't even think penguins or their military vehicles could even move through the mountains. Possibly.
Their military strength sends their elite troops to defend their borders. But
only somebody wants to come to Brazil. But also, Brazil has a semi-good military. I think they'd be able to take on a few million penguins.
Before they know it, the penguin army of millions overwhelms them. Soon the whole South America is invaded.
What happened to Uruguay, Paraguay, Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guyana? What happened to those guys? Just too lazy to come up with an answer for that? Also, the Falklands. They haven't been taken over yet. Also, that little island right there.
The world is in full panic.
The world's in full panic. Yes. Penguins cause the downfall of humanity. Yes. Or, you know, whatever they do. Penguins get controlled by humans to take over South America. Yes, very... Also, another question. How do they even manage to survive in such harsh conditions? Amazon rainforest, Andes Mountains, the equator. Are these penguins just genetically... Have these penguins been genetically modified just enough to where they have thumbs and they can go anywhere? Like, that would be the best option.
The United Nations forms an alliance, sending in their best forces, but the penguin...
Yeah, the best forces being the United States, most likely. Also, I think the United States would be able to take on some penguins.
Forces keep advancing. Country after country falls under their control.
Deserts. Penguins can apparently now just go into deserts. Also, American military. Strong. How can we not just defeat a bunch of penguins?
It seems like no one can stop them, but something...
Seems like no one can stop them. My god. This hurts.
Unexpected happens. Penguins everywhere start falling down, one by one, collapsing to the ground. What no one knew was that the chemical that...
Wait a second. They missed a spot. They missed a lot of spots. They missed a lot of spots.
...made them so strong simply stopped working after some time.
Just stopped working. That's the lazy answer he had to come up with to, you know, for the final, the country gets defeated ending. It's the chemical. The chemicals started wearing off. Like, you can just say that the American military is so friggin' strong that they managed to defeat the Penguins. They managed to fend off from a few million penguins. Yeah. Yeah, this is video 1. Video 1. Jeez. This rate, we're only gonna get to like 5 videos.
Time. What if...
Okay, next one.
What if aliens tried to invade the Earth? They first form a really big army and start with the U.S.
Well, they have interstellar travel, so I can't really measure this one because aliens managed to do interstellar travel before us, so yes, they might be more advanced. They are more advanced. So, I'll give them a bit of leeway on this one.
USA, exposing Area 51's secrets and crushing American defense.
Exposing Area 51 secrets. Okay, that's good. That's a good one right there. I don't think they'd be able to take the whole of the U.S. considering we're insane, and I don't think we'd let aliens just take us over like that. But, you know.
Major cities fall in minutes. The invasion spreads to...
Minutes? Jeez. What do they got? Teleportation? Nukes? Bigger nukes?
Latin America, where governments fall without a fight. The aliens turn to Africa next.
Damn. Aliens are successful. Although, I think if aliens were to invade because they have interstellar travel, they'd probably crush us.
Next, sweeping through countries with very little resistance. The Middle East is hit soon after. Despite a united front, they're quickly overwhelmed. Next, Europe tries to fight back, but fails with major capitals left destroyed. Asia is targeted next. China's forces crumble fast, and Russia's defenses collapse despite their size. Japan and its neighbors launch a desperate...
I want to see if, like, New Zealand manages to just fend them off with, like, sheep.
counterattack, but are overrun in hours. Australia, trying to hold out, is also swiftly defeated. South Asia is taken down next. One nation after another keeps falling, even though the world's greatest powers have been defeated. But suddenly, just when it seems the end is here, the invasion stops. The aliens disappear. No final battle.
If you were gonna have advanced aliens invade Earth, you could at least change it up for once and just have it where the nation that's attacking, or the species that's attacking, or the aliens that are attacking, finally win the world. Okay, that one made me angry.
No retreat, because Earth's bacteria wiped them out. What if aliens...
What's that one movie where, like, there's, like, giant, what is it, tripods that are just, like, invading the UK? London is just being destroyed. I don't know what it's called, but is that what happened? Is that what happened?
Aliens tried to invade the Earth. They first form a...
Nah, YouTube is sick for this.
Okay.
What if Singapore gets mad and wants to rule the whole world? First, they would gather their elite forces and gear up for war. Malaysia...
Singapore's small. Where military? Where military go? That's my question. Where is the military going to go? The streets?
Would be their first target, and they would fall
vendettas. That's what they're after.
fast to the power of the Singapore.
I get they have a good GDP and, like, yes, obviously most countries have some amount of military. I don't think Malaysia would fall that fast. Maybe not even at all.
Army. Their next victim would be Indonesia. Despite their...
I I honestly don't think they'd be able to defeat Indonesia.
Large military, they would stand no chance against Singapore's ruthless
Yeah, no, I think they'd stand like a chance, maybe.
offensive. Singapore moves to conquer the remaining smaller Southeast Asian countries and even takes Australia.
What did he take over? He took over East Timor, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Papua New Guinea. Failed to, give us anything besides that, but okay, sure. Why not? You just take over countries without explaining how.
With their growing army. This
Take over Australia. Oh my gosh, I think at that point the world would definitely just collectively just knock out Singapore. Oh my gosh, they wouldn't even get that far.
This forces China, India, and other nations to form an alliance.
That's how do you pronounce it? ASEAN? I don't know, that's how I pronounce it. That's the ASEAN logo. Or symbol or whatever. Oh my gosh. The only one part of ASEAN in that alliance is 2. Laos, or no, 3. Philippines, Laos, and Myanmar. Oh my gosh, this is literally going to give me a headache for the rest of the day.
With even the U.S. sending troops to help. Under
If the U.S. sent troops, Singapore would be done for in a few days.
attack from all sides, Singapore would reveal their secret weapon, a strategic deal with Japan. The combined forces of Singapore.
Strategic deal with Japan, my god. America is more powerful than Japan. I don't really know if you know this, but Japan isn't exactly the biggest military power in the world.
And Japan leave the rest speechless, winning the battle. What if Singapore gets mad and wants to rule the whole world? First, they would gather their elite force.
I'm in pain.
What if dinosaurs came back and took over the world? They'd first appear in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil.
Great, we have dinosaurs coming back. First off, if they were to come back anywhere, it'd be a laboratory. Second off, let's just see if this even makes the slightest bit of sense, or if this is also just a complete mess.
Brazil, quickly spreading through the country. Soon,
yeah. They probably wouldn't specifically spread to Brazil. They just spread in the general area of the Amazon rainforest. Although I don't think they completely wipe out humans.
soon they'd move into Argentina and Colombia, taking over most of South America.
Cool. There are more than just those 2 countries in the highlighted blue area. This hurts.
As human forces scrambled to fight back. The rest
I think we'd be able to fight back. I'm just saying, I think we'd be able to fight back over a bunch of giant lizards. Probably gonna get a few angry comments for that one, but oh well. They can deal with it.
of the world would watch in horror as the dinosaurs advanced north, nearing Mexico, with the U.S. next in their path.
Why did they, why is all the area, a lighter red, but then southern Mexico is just, and Belize is just a darker shade of red? Why is that? No.
USA thinks they are ready for the fight, but as they fight, they face heavy casualties.
Ballistic missiles. HIMARS. What is it? The Patriot system. Literally every one of our aircraft. Oh my gosh. Apparently none of those can defeat dinosaurs.
Global powers like Russia and China would send their best troops to join American.
Yeah, their best troops. Russia doesn't have any best troops anymore. They're all dead and buried in Ukraine. That was a dark joke. But I'm not wrong on that one, though. Okay. China's best troops are probably just bored.
American forces. Despite a fierce fight,
Or they're, committing atrocities. Who knows?
the dinosaurs would overrun many cities, pushing deeper into North America. Even though scientists release a powerful new weapon, something unexpected happens. What comes next is far worse than dinosaurs. What if dinosaurs...
What's the far worst thing? Now I'm in suspense, which makes me angry.
What if Holland got mad and...
Holland? Holland is a region in the Netherlands, not Norway. Norway, he just said Holland is Norway.
and started attacking every country. They first
Why?
build a strong army and start by a massive surprise attack on
Why does Sweden?
Denmark and quickly take over, shocking
NATO.
everyone. Norway now turns to Sweden. Seeing the threat, Sweden allies with Finland, changing the fight. Seeing this, Norway
Still, NATO.
decides to ally with Russia. The battle
Russia isn't exactly known for its renowned military. It's renowned for its renowned military defeats.
is tough. Both sides fight with all their strength.
Okay, now NATO has to get involved. Because even if Norway attacks Denmark, it still wouldn't technically trigger Article 5. But now that an outside power has just attacked a NATO country, aka Finland, now NATO Article 5 is now in session. Session? No, not in session. Jeez. English bad.
But Russia and Norway finally push Sweden and Finland back. In an unexpected twist, NATO steps in.
Wow, an unexpected twist. I wonder why NATO would step in. Maybe it's because one of their member states is being attacked by an outside power. I'm, angry.
And tries to fight Russia and Norway to get back the territory they gained. Now, as the battle rages on, the situation shifts back and forth.
Considering how bad Russia did in Ukraine, I'm shocked Finland hasn't just completely decimated Russia.
Suddenly, Russia abandons Norway.
Oh, I wonder why. Probably because they're losing. Maybe.
Norway, alone in shock, couldn't stand and loses all the land they gained.
They're not going to be divided up or have some land taken away because of what they did. Freaking migraine now.
What if Holland got...
Clean, moisturizing hair care is...
What if Chile tried to attack every country?
This should be fun.
They first build a strong army and launch a surprise attack on Peru.
If they were to build a quote-unquote strong army and attack anyone, it'd probably be Peru. Let's not lie here. It'd probably be Peru, because they don't like them.
Quickly taking control. Everyone is shocked. Chile now targets Bolivia, but Bolivia knows what's coming and forms an alliance with Argentina. In response, Chile decides to ally with Colombia.
Why Colombia? Why not Brazil? Someone stronger and someone who doesn't actually really like Argentina. Why Colombia? Let's keep going.
The battle is fierce, and both sides fight hard. Chile and Colombia manage to push back Bolivia and
How has Brazil not been involved in this already? Jeez.
Argentina at first. In a surprising twist,
Argentina would not lose this fight.
other South American countries form a coalition.
Surprisingly, wow! It's like the other South American countries are fearful of what Chile's gonna do to them. Or just, generally don't want Chile attacking half the continent. Just maybe. Just maybe. Just throwing that out there.
And decide to fight Chile and Colombia to reclaim lost territory. As the battle rages on, the situation keeps changing. Suddenly, Colombia withdraws its support.
I wonder why Colombia suddenly just leaves. Maybe because they're losing horribly.
Leaving Chile alone. Chile, in shock, cannot hold its ground and loses all the territory it gained.
Why wouldn't it be carved up, or at least some of its territory at least sliced off because of what they did? That's another reason why I hate these, is because they never lose any current territory. They just go back to normal. It's like reparation. What is it? What is it? The thing where you have to pay money. Jeez, I cannot speak today. What is it? No loss of territory, no money for, compensation, perhaps. Nothing? Just normal? Jeez.
What if Chile tried to attack What if Mongolia got mad and decided to
Mongolia's actually, let's see how many people they have. Can I move this? Well, it says 3.447 million. So, 3 million people. They have 3 million people. And most, if not all, are in one city. So I don't really know how a mostly empty country is gonna take on the world. But okay.
take on the world? They start with a surprise attack on Kazakhstan.
Is Kazakhstan in the CSTO? Is Kazakhstan in the CSTO? Kazakhstan is part of it. I don't have my full screen to show that, but yeah. Only I made this bigger, but well. So it would immediately trigger, what is it, Article 6 of the CSTO treaty, or Russia's NATO, in which Russia, Belarus, Armenia, I think it's Kyrgyzstan, and maybe Uzbekistan, would all then go to war with Mongolia and completely obliterate it. Just saying, might not go well for them.
Winning quickly.
Oh, look, how shocking, they took it over. That would not be possible.
Shocking everyone. Mongolia now moves into Central Asia, easily claiming territory from small...
Territory, my gosh. A lot of those countries are also part of CSTO. Also, why didn't they take over Tajikistan?
Or countries. Their next target is Russia. They form an...
Russia. I get their military's weak, but you don't want to go up against, what is it, 144 million people? When your population probably by now is like maybe just about 50 million. Maybe, I don't really know the populations.
Alliance with Western nations and launch a massive attack on Russia. Russia fights
back. At least
they
allied to the Western nations to at least, go for it. So it made it more realistic. Okay, like thank you for that. That's a brownie point for you.
When Russia seems to regain control, Mongolia pulls off a clever move and takes...
What's the move? Are you gonna tell us?
Over all of Russia.
Nope, you're not gonna tell us. That's what I call lazy writing. I hate it.
Their biggest victory. Now with the help of Western nations, they launch an attack on China. The fight is intense and looks like Mongolia will win. China, with the help of their biggest army in the world,
Yes, they may have the most soldiers, but they do not have the best equipment. So, China would probably beat them in manpower, but probably not in anything else. Also, you have possibly 150 million people You're going up against a country with 1.2 billion people. Not exactly the smartest move.
Beats Mongolia, and Mongolia loses everything.
Shocker.
What if Hawaii got mad and decided to take on the world?
Hawaii's not an independent country. They have to gain independence before they can get so-called mad and take on the world.
First, Hawaii will secretly build a powerful army with the help of anti-American
A powerful army. Yeah, how are the Su-57s with the wood screws in them gonna work out for you, Hawaii? Or China's J-10? How are those gonna do for you? Not much.
countries. They'll start by attacking Indonesia and the Philippines with their...
That would be one of the biggest naval invasions and probably one of the hardest logistical things to pull off. Probably not ever, but, pretty close up there. Especially for how small it is.
Strategic Navy.
Also, what flag are they using? They're using that flag. Oh my gosh. That is not the flag of Hawaii. And I know people want to change the flag to that. And a lot of people think that that's an older creation. It's not. It's a recent thing. Sorry, your current flag sucks.
They will conquer them quickly, surprising everyone. Next, they'll make an alliance.
They would fail. Also, they take over the Philippines? Okay, sure. Have fun dealing with America.
With North Korea. Together, they
If they were making alliances with anti-American nations, yeah, I could see this happening.
launch attacks
But I don't think North Korea is really all that powerful enough to really, help in any sort of way.
on South Korea and Japan. The battle is
They
fierce.
fail miserably? Yeah.
But after a long battle, Hawaii manages to win. Feeling unstoppable, Hawaii now sets its eyes on the U.S.
That's the dumbest decision you could ever make.
Hawaii launches a surprise attack on U.S. Pacific bases, gaining the upper hand. As they think they've won, North Korea betrays Hawaii, striking a secret deal with the U.S.
Striking a secret deal with the U.S. The North Korean culture is literally centered around hating America and South Korea. Like, they got what they wanted. Why would they betray Hawaii? Oh my gosh. That's the dumbest thing ever.
conquering all the land Hawaii gained, and Hawaii loses everything in an instant.
They're American territory.
What if Panama got really mad and suddenly declared war on the entire
They'd be screwed.
world? Knowing they can't do it alone, they ally with the U.S.
That is the smartest thing that this series has said so far. If you want to win the world, you ally to America. Because America wants you.
Together, they crush small countries in Central America and Mexico. Next, they
Smart play, letting them have Mexico, you get the rest of Central America.
convince the U.S. to take on Colombia and Brazil at once.
Why would you take on both at once? That just seems like a bit much. Logistical issues because of the Amazon rainforest, it seems like a bit much, but you do you.
The fight is brutal, but still, they manage to bring all the countries down.
Considering they have the U.S., I'd say it is within the realm, the very vague edge of the realm of possibility, but not super.
Feeling untouchable, Panama gets greedy. Panama betrays the U.S. and seizes...
I take it back. You did the dumbest thing ever. Why? Why would you betray your biggest ally, your biggest supporter? It's so dumb.
the U.S. military bases in all the countries they invaded. The U.S., caught by surprise, tries to fight back, but Panama holds strong. Panama
would not hold strong. They'd be done for within days.
standing alone, sets its eyes on Argentina. America comes in support of Argentina. Panama believes they can win. Argentina and
Yeah, obviously America would come into support with Argentina. But also, why would they think they can win? They literally just made an enemy and now they're going after somebody else. The other person is bound to support the person that you're about to attack.
And America hit back. Panama, without U.S. support, crumbles and loses everything
Oh, I wonder why.
they fought for. What if Panama got really mad what if Italy got really mad and decided to take over the world? It all starts when Italy attacks
Bring back the Roman Empire, dude!
all countries like San Marino and Malta. They
Farewell.
win quickly. Next, they target France. They launch
That's kind of dumb considering they have nuclear weapons and you don't.
to surprise
Also a
attack
stronger army.
on Paris, and France fights back hard. When it seems like France is about to win, Italy pulls off a surprising move and takes control
What move? Are you gonna explain it to us?
of the city. Now feeling
No. No, he's not. Lord help me.
invincible, Italy sets its sights on Spain. The Spanish army is ready and the battle is intense. In the end, Italy narrowly captures Madrid and wins the
Spain isn't all too powerful, but the France thing, no. Spain is in the realm.
battle. With two major victories, Italy thinks they can take on Germany next.
Okay, that's also dumb. Why wouldn't you go for like the weaker Baltic area or Northern Africa? Anywhere but Germany.
Clash is brutal. Germany also
Because
pulls
according to the Romans, they're too hard to defeat.
off a surprising counterattack. As the battles rage on, world
Are they fighting in... Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on.
battle.
on,
With
just
two
go back a
major
second.
victories, Italy thinks they can take on Germany next. The
Oh, they did go through Austria.
clash is brutal. Germany also pulls off a surprising counterattack. As the battles rage on, world watches in suspense. Germany, with the help of other European nations, beats Italy. And
Probably for good reason other Europeans step in.
Italy surrenders
Well,
everything
what
they
Europeans, besides like the UK and NATO and the EU?
had gained. What if
They're not being divided up? They're not being like, they don't have reparations? That's what I was looking for. Chile should have been paying reparations. Why won't it go down? I want to go to the next video. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties. No.
what if Italy got
Nope.
really mad and decided to take over?
You go. Ah. Let's just reload this.
What if Italy got really mad and decided
Oh, is that the end of that? Oh, no, wait. Nope, there's still more. Okay. And let's just get through the rest. At least try.
What if South Korea got really mad and decided to take on the world? First, they would get their army ready and start by attacking North Korea.
That's definitely possible. I need to take this off. That's possible, considering North Korea isn't all that powerful, so, yeah, plenty possible. They have good Western allies.
With their advanced weapons, South Korea quickly wins and takes control. Feeling
Also, now they do have advanced weapons, because when Hawaii was helping North Korea take them over, they were weak. Interesting.
powerful, South Korea then targets Japan. The battle is fierce, and Japan fights hard. Just
Shouldn't it just be Korea by now?
when it seems Japan might win, South Korea pulls off a surprising move
What's the move? Survey says he's not going to tell us.
and takes the victory.
Hey, I got it right.
Next, South Korea sets its eyes on the Philippines. The fight is
Also, I don't think they would defeat Japan, just based off U.S. support.
intense, but eventually South Korea manages to win this
Also,
fight.
the U.S. and ASEAN would probably support the Philippines. Just saying, not a good idea.
2. Now South Korea decides to challenge China.
I get that China doesn't have the greatest of all the militaries, but they're still good enough to where you don't want to challenge them.
Knowing they need more strength, South Korea forms an alliance with Mongolia. Together,
What's Mongolia gonna do? 3 million people. 3 million people. Unless you provide them horses and bows, they ain't doing nothing for you.
Together, they prepare for a big battle. The fight begins, and it's unpredictable. South Korea and Mongolia launch clever attacks,
Mongolia wouldn't even get close.
and they seem to be winning. But China fights back with great force. As the battle rages on, both sides have moments of strength and weakness. In the end, despite their best efforts, South Korea and Mongolia lose everything they gained. What if
You know, there's a very similar pattern that I'm noticing. Country does crazy things to defeat other countries. They get big. They challenge somebody like America, Russia, or China. Or they fall out of an alliance, and then they get crushed. No reparations, no loss of territory. I don't like this.
What if all of NATO got really mad and decided to take over the world?
I actually want to see this.
First, they would focus on their biggest rival, Russia. NATO launches a massive coordinated
Wait a
attack.
second. Hold on. Hold on a sec. This is NATO.
And decided to take over the world. First, they would focus on
You're just adding territories. You're not even talking about it. You literally just added randomly Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Serbia, Bulgaria, or no, not Bulgaria, Bosnia, what else? Kosovo, not Switzerland, and Sweden in current time is part of NATO, so I'll allow that to slide.
their biggest rival, Russia. NATO launches a massive
In this map, they gave Russia Crimea. I'm shocked.
coordinated attack on Russia. The battle is fierce, with both sides using their best weapons and strategies.
They both use nuclear weapons because that's considered their best weapons.
But NATO's
What
combined
F-22? That's F-22, F-35. Those are also good.
forces prove too much, and Russia
See, that I can agree with because they have America, so they're strong.
eventually falls, leaving the world stunned. With Russia out of the
Stunned. They're NATO. They're one of the most powerful alliances. Actually, no, they're the most powerful alliance in the world besides, the United Nations.
way, NATO feels unstoppable. Their next targets would be Kazakhstan and Mongolia. The battle would be over quickly with NATO winning easily.
I can
NATO
agree with that. I thought Mongolia was powerful enough to take on China. Guess not.
would now set its eyes on China. China would try to fight back with the help of North and South Korea. But after a tough fight, NATO will overpower all of them, leading to their
I can actually agree with this mainly because it's NATO. It has America. It has some of the strongest nations in the world. And then when they took over Russia, didn't really help them much, but now they have more.
second biggest win. With almost all powerful nations defeated, NATO would turn its
What do you have left? India, Brazil, kinda. Obviously, lots of nations have levels of power, some more powerful than others, but I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Strongest countries without Russia, China, or NATO combined. Japan, India. Not really gonna count Iran. Brazil, possibly Mexico.
attention to northern Africa and some parts of the Middle East, beating every one of them easily. But even as NATO continued to dominate, something was happening in secret. The remaining countries, fearing NATO's power, would start to form a secret alliance. They would quietly prepare a massive attack. What will happen next? Subscribe for part 2.
Now I want to see where this goes.
What if Venezuela got really mad
They'd have to fix their inflation problems first.
and decided to take over the world?
Good luck.
First, they'd build up their army and quickly attack Colombia and the nearby
Yeah, okay, sure. What are you going to pay them with?
smaller countries all at once. Venezuela's army would defeat them easily.
You mean Guyana that gets some British support when they were threatened to take away some of that land? Remember that whole thing that happened? I wish that had actually gone somewhere, like into a war or something, but you know. Also, seems kind of also, Ecuador. I just apparently got that too. I feel like you have to be able to pay your soldiers first before you're able to, take on the world, as you say.
Shocking everyone with their strength. Then they'd attack Brazil.
That's kind of dumb, don't you think?
After a fierce battle, they'd manage to defeat Brazil too.
Also, that's Amazon. The Amazon rainforest. Like, how is that not a logistical issue?
Next, Venezuela would target Argentina. Venezuela's momentum would be unstoppable. They'd easily take...
I don't even know why I try anymore. I know where this is going next. They're gonna make a big mistake, like attacking America or something. And then they're just gonna collapse very quickly.
Take control of smaller nations like Uruguay without much resistance. With Brazil...
Not much resistance, jeez. Pretty sure there'd be a good amount of resistance.
Brazil and Argentina down, Venezuela would quickly conquer the rest of Central America. Mexico would be their next target. Even though Mexico would resist, Venezuela's strong army would push forward and win easily.
I think the only way this would ever happen is if they managed to fix inflation. But Venezuela isn't even powerful enough to friggin' take on almost anyone, including Guyana.
All of Latin America under their control, Venezuela would set their eyes on the United States.
There it is, and that's what's gonna cause their collapse. Survey says...
The U.S. would fight back harder than any other country. The U.S. will get help from NATO. But even with that, Venezuela will be giving an unexpectedly tough fight, taking almost half of the U.S. However, with the smarter tactics of the USA, Venezuela would be outmatched, losing everything they
says I'm correct.
fought for. What if Colombia got really mad and
jumping to the other country?
Decided to take over the world? First, they would attack Venezuela and would
I thought Venezuela could easily take over Colombia.
Quickly gain control, surprising everyone with their strength. Next, they would set their eyes on Ecuador and Peru. They would launch swift
Grand Colombia
attacks, causing their defenses to collapse fast.
Andes Mountains, Amazon rainforest. Logistics, people, logistics!
Then Colombia would focus on Bolivia and Chile. These countries would join forces to defend themselves, but Colombia's tactics would be too strong.
Andes Mountains.
After
Need I say more?
Securing victories in both countries, Colombia would turn to Argentina and Paraguay at once. Colombia would quickly capture key cities and important regions.
Paraguay anyone can take on, even the Vatican. Paraguay weak. That was a joke, by the way. Paraguay is semi-strong, I just don't like them.
The battle would be tough, with both sides fighting hard. However, Colombia's numbers would overpower Argentina and Paraguay.
Either Brazil is going to stop them, or America is going to stop them. Let's see which one's right.
They would now have a powerful hold over much of the region. So
looks like Spanish South America.
Colombia would prepare to attack Brazil. The Brazilian forces would be tough.
Also, why won't you take those smaller countries in Uruguay before you take Brazil? That just seems like free territory. Like, according to you, according to how easy it is, it almost just seems like free territory.
Setting up a strong fight. Brazil's strong defenses would push Colombia back hard, leading to a long battle.
You're in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. Logistics.
Colombia would win some early fights, but they would lose in the end, losing all the territories they gained.
That took them down.
What if Colombia got really mad? What if New Zealand got really mad?
New Zealand? What are they going to do? Throw a bunch of sheep at Australia?
And decided to take over the world. First, New Zealand would get their army ready and would launch a surprise attack on Australia.
Oh, it was Australia.
Winning some key battles. Feeling
that couldn't happen. Australia is stronger than New Zealand.
confident, they'd then focus on the nearby Pacific Islands.
Or they would just ask Australia to unify with them just because they're so freaking similar.
islands, easily taking over places like Fiji and Samoa. Their
That I can't actually argue with. Yes, those islands are much weaker than New Zealand, so yeah, they could easily take Fiji.
forces would move swiftly, taking everyone by surprise. Then they would aim for Indonesia, hoping to expand their territory even
Okay,
further.
that's just not... When did they just randomly gain Papua New Guinea? Just didn't mention that.
First, New Zealand would find success, taking cities and gaining control of vast lands. But as their forces spread out, things would start to get difficult. Their new army would get too
Oh, so now logistics and the fact that, maybe it's a bit far away is now an issue? Huh. Was an issue with Hawaii.
stretched, making it hard to hold on to all the new areas. Meanwhile, Australia, Indonesia, and the Pacific Islands would unite and begin to fight
I
back.
thought Australia was under New Zealand control. What are these rebels?
They would launch counterattacks, gradually weakening New Zealand's control. New Zealand's forces would struggle, trying desperately to regroup and strengthen their position. Even as they fight back, the pressure would grow. They'd lose territory piece by piece, but after all their efforts, New Zealand would be forced to surrender everything. What if New
No
Zealand got
reparations,
really mad?
no nothing?
What if Iceland got really mad and
This
decided
couldn't happen because they don't have a military.
to take on the world? First, they'd attack their neighbor, Greenland, taking over its small population.
Iceland would have to just start making a military, even though they don't have that. Unless Denmark just somehow manages to just be dumb and sell them Greenland.
With this victory, Iceland would attack Norway. Although Norway would
They're in a military.
put up a strong fight, Iceland would manage to push through.
I thought Norway was powerful enough to take on Sweden and Denmark.
Next, they'd catch
With
Sweden
those countries have militaries.
and Denmark off guard, swiftly taking control.
Apparently Sweden and Denmark are on the conquering side of things. Norway and Iceland are on the Sweden and Denmark are on the conquered. Norway and Iceland are the conquerors.
Control of both countries. Even Finland would fall into chaos.
Again, these places have stronger militaries. Iceland has no military. And it was never said that Iceland just started building up a military. So, does this guy do research? I'm gonna go with a no.
With their growing military, they'll attack Germany. Germany would try to
Speak of the devil, they are growing a military.
defend itself, but Iceland's surprise attacks would initially overpower them. However,
They
France
took Berlin. According to this map, they took Berlin.
and Poland, seeing the threat, would quickly step in to help Germany with support from
Germany, I think, could fight them on their own, just with the amount of weapons they have.
NATO. With their combined forces, France and Poland would launch a counterattack, pushing Iceland back. Even though Iceland had some early wins and was hopeful for another victory, things took a turn for the worse. In the end, they found themselves struggling and lost everything they had gained.
Oh, I wonder why. Maybe because they're attacking a bunch of countries and then everybody gangs up against them. Also, why didn't the UK join?
What if Portugal got really mad and decided to take on the
Oh, that should be
world?
fun.
First, they would get their army ready. Then they'd start by taking over their neighboring country, Spain.
I don't really know the military might of Spain. So,
With a surprise attack, they quickly capture major cities and take control of Spain's
I don't
vast
know if that'd
coastline.
be super possible, but yeah.
Next, Portugal looks to expand across Europe. They'll target smaller countries like Andorra and Monaco, easily overpowering them with their growing military.
Andorra is a dual monarchy with the president of France. I think France would see that as a direct attack and therefore obliterate Portugal.
With control of southern Europe, Portugal sets their eyes on Africa. They launch an invasion in North Africa, focusing on Morocco and
I'm
Algeria.
shocked they're not focusing on Brazil.
The battle is tough, but with their strategic navy, they manage to gain control. As
Strategic Navy? What strategic navy?
Portugal grows, tension rises. They now
Oh,
turn
I wonder why.
toward France. A war with France would be risky, but still Portugal pushes forward, hoping to weaken them. But France, being much stronger, pushes back hard. Eventually, France, with the help of NATO, starts pushing them back. In the end, despite their bold attempts, Portugal loses everything they gained, including Spain and their North African territories, and their power fades away. What if Portugal got...
It's a bit more detailed at the end, but still, no reparations, no loss of territory. Nothing? Just go back to normal?
What if Argentina got really mad and...
Well, finally, the one that gets conquered so often by the Penguins, Chile, Venezuela, Colombia. There's probably another, but I'm too tired to remember.
Decided to take on the world. First, they would get their army ready and attack Uruguay and Paraguay and quickly take control.
I will say that actually would make some amount of sense.
Next, they would go after Bolivia and Chile.
Argentina's strong enough to where they could go after some of these nations, but eventually it just starts. Eventually Brazil would get involved, and then the rest of South America.
Winning those fights too. Feeling strong, Argentina set their eyes on Brazil. Despite Brazil being huge, Argentina's army would catch them off guard, and with both
Amazon rainforest and Andes Mountains. Logistics. Again, for the 1 trillionth time. Logistics. It's kind of hard to conquer a continent when they have harsh mountains and rainforests.
Both sides fighting hard. Eventually, Argentina's strong army manages to take control.
I don't know if they'd be able to take over Brazil. Let me take a guess at what's going to happen. They're going to conquer the rest of South America. They're going to gloss over that. Gloss over the fact that they take over Central America, push through Mexico, get Mexico, and then America pushes them all the way back to Argentina.
With Brazil under their control, they move forward to Central America and Mexico, even though they
was correct. Oh, wow.
They are prepared.
Oh,
Argentina's
Mexico too.
aggressive tactics will defeat them.
Why is
Then
the middle part of Mexico just highlighted?
the United States sees what's happening and starts to worry. They can't let Argentina become too strong. As the situation heats up, the U.S. prepares for a big fight. In a huge battle, Argentina faces off against the U.S. military. The fight is tough, but in the end, Argentina loses, and they will give up all territories gained.
Oh, what's that? What's that? I predicted the end of the video. Yeah.
What if Cuba got really mad?
This is the one that inspired me to do this video. This is the one. And I got really mad when I saw this video.
And decided to take on the world. First, they would attack their neighbors in the Caribbean, quickly taking over places.
Caribbean. Jesus, saw it. Caribbean and Caribbean. Caribbean? Jeez. What?
Places like Jamaica and the Dominican Republic.
There's also, a Haiti in there. Also, why not the Bahamas too? Like, why would you just gloss over them?
After securing the region, they head to Central America, defeating countries like Panama and Nicaragua and other small countries. As Cuba...
I don't think they'd be able to get up that far, considering that if America saw what Cuba was doing, even just in Jamaica, they'd immediately go to war.
Expands, they would get help from powerful allies like Russia, China, who would provide
Yes, they would probably get help from Russia and China.
advanced weapons.
Weapons. The Su-57 and the J-10 are considered advanced weapons. And the J-35, they're considered advanced weapons? The Su-35 is put together with wood screws. I don't exactly think that their advanced weapons are going to do much.
Their next target would be Mexico. Mexico would be already ready for this invasion. But with the advanced weapons, Mexico won't last long.
No, they said already ready. I just kind of find that funny that they didn't decide to choose another word. And they didn't just go for, prepared or something. I'm sorry, okay? This is funny. I'm not being nitpicky, I'm just saying, I found that funny. because I do English stuffs.
And finally, their next target would be the USA.
That's the dumbest decision you can make.
The NATO would step in,
The
ready for...
NATO? The NATO. Yes, the NATO will step in to help the America. The Cuba will collapse.
For a huge war. Cuba would face a powerful military response. The U.S. quickly mobilizes its forces, pushing back hard. In the end, the U.S. and allies would defeat Cuba, and Cuba would
that's probably what would happen.
lose its power and influence, struggling to
Cuba
keep
doesn't have any power and influence.
the territories it gained.
Yeah,
What
they'll
if-
probably just be immediately obliterated? Oh, look, it's the end! Oh, thank God. Well, thank you all for watching. I have now a massive headache from this. But thank you all for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.